Hey guys, what's good? Welcome to my YouTube channel, Eric Broadus YouTube. I say again, welcome to my YouTube channel, Eric Broadus YouTube, and welcome to my Snakz 123 on Rumble. Welcome to Snakz 123 on Rumble. All right, guys. You said you wanted this chemical warfare content. Here it is. Today's video, NBC Warfarfare explained how 2-PAM Chloride and Atropine Injectors save lives. And for those of you that may not know what the acronym or abbreviation NBC stands for, that stands for nuclear, biological, and chemical. So, and 2-PAM Chloride and Atropine Injectors. If you're unfamiliar with what they are, these are the drugs that are administered in case of an attack or exposure to a nerve agent and pesticides. All right, let's roll with it, guys. Let's see. Two drug injector containing atropine and 2-PAM chloride, known as, it's a scientific term, toxin chloride, okay, saves lives by countering the effects of organophosphate. Chemical symbol would be OP, poisoning from nerve agents or pesticides. The two drugs work synergistically to restore nervous system functions, with each drug addressing a different set of symptoms. So basically, in a nutshell, atropine will restore a set of symptoms that you may get from a nerve agent, and then the 2-PAM chloride is a different drug to treat another set of symptoms. Now it's no secret. We understand how important our nervous system is, and especially our central nervous system is to our body, and also to the life, of a human organism. If your central nervous system and your nervous system is hampered or hindered in any way, you can face some serious health consequences, to include unaliving within. It could happen anywhere from a matter of minutes to a matter of hours, but eventually the damage is coming. Sandman is coming eventually if you don't get treatment. All right? Now, let's move on, guys. All right, how nerve agents and pesticides poison the body. Nerve agents such as sarin and organophosphate, pesticides, they trigger a crisis in the nervous system by inhibiting the enzyme acetylcholinesterase, okay? Scientific symbol ACHE. Bear with me, guys. This enzyme's job is to break down the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. Scientific symbol ACH, okay? Which sends signals from nerves to muscles and glands. By blocking the ACHE enzyme, the nerve agent causes the acetylcholine to build up in the body and continually overstimulate nerve receptors. This overstimulation leads to two types of cholinergic effects. Sorry, guys, bear with me. These big words here. All right, the muscarinic. Muscarinic effects, okay? Involuntary muscle contractions, excessive secretions, which can cause constricted airways, a slowed heart rate, and gastrointestinal issues. All right, let's call it what it is in a nerve cell. Basically, what will happen is that it can cause involuntary muscle contractions, to include excessive muscle twitching and loss of control of your nervous system. With excessive secretions, it can kind of cause, how do I explain this? Basically, it's like it'll cause your airways to close up. This is like having asthma and a bronchitis attack on steroids. Let's put it that way. Okay? And what it will also do, it'll slow down your heart rate. And then it causes gastrointestinal issues. Anything from bloating, gas, uncontrollably, uncontrollable urination, defecation, nausea, vomiting. Excuse me. So not to be graphic, guys, but that's some of the effects, okay? The nicotinic effects, okay? Obviously, it causes weakness, twitching, eventual paralysis of skeletal muscles, including the diaphragm, which can lead to respiratory failure. And if any of you ladies and gentlemen have ever had either broken ribs or injured your diaphragm or pulled any of your stomach muscles, you know that is painful and it makes it excessively hard for you to breathe, and it causes a lot of discomfort. But this is all of that on steroids. All right, let's move on. Okay, the complementary roles of atropine and 2-PAM chloride. Okay, obviously they work together to reverse life-threatening effects. So whenever they say something, like I said, I don't know if you guys know what synergy is, but synergy is something that is compatible. It works together. So that's basically what these two antidotes do. Okay, the atropine, its job is to block muscarinic receptors. Atropine in an anti-cholinergic drug. Okay, it blocks muscarinic nerve receptors, preventing them from being overstimulated by excess ACE. I'll just abbreviate it, okay? Obviously, it relieves muscarinic symptoms by blocking these receptors. Atropine reverses involuntary symptoms like breathing difficulties from constricted airways and excessive bronchial secretions. Okay, it also helps speed up a dangerously slow heart rate. If your heart rate remains slow for too long, which meaning it don't take long, you will be unalive within probably a matter of minutes. Most people are not going to survive an excessively slow heart rate without some form of help. That's why a lot of times your first responders or medical people, if the heart rate isn't up to speed or like it's dying, they'll use the EKG machine to electrically shock it or stimulate it to get the heart rate pumping before the heart basically unalives and basically collapses and stops. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just under the weather. Oh, I'm very sorry about that. All right. Addresses central nervous system effects. Atropine can also help reduce the impact of the poisoning on the central nervous system, including your respiratory center. All right. Let's move into 2-PAM chloride. All right. Reacts with the nerve agent. Okay. 2-PAM pralidoxamine is an oxime that reactivates the poison ACH enzyme by prying off the organophosphate molecule. Dissipates it, guys. You know what I'm saying? Restores muscle control. By restoring the ACH enzyme, 2-PAM chloride restores normal function at the nicotinic receptors. What this does, it reverses weakness and it undoes the paralysis of skeletal muscles. Okay? Most critically, those used for breathing. If you can't breathe, you can't live. All right? And also, you can call it. This can cause a domino effect within the body and cause vital organs to eventually shut down within a certain time limit. And it's going to vary from individual to individual, but eventually the results will be the same. And this thing, it keeps if you are hit by this type of nerve agent with this lethal pesticide, this stuff, it does not stop. The symptoms keep on getting worse. They keep on going like the Energizer Bunny on steroids until treated. Now, let me share a brief experience that I had when I was going. I was getting ready to go to Iraq, and so there's several different series of training that military members have to go to before they get ready to go downrange into a combat zone. And one of those, obviously, you have to re-zero your weapons to make sure your sights are good, and so that it gives you a better chance at accuracy in hitting your target. Another portion of training that we went through was training in the up-armored vehicles. and also rollover training. We went through rollover training, we did that in the Middle East, you know what I'm saying, in desert conditions to assimilate the environment that we were going to be in Iraq. And then also, we had to do rollover training in the Humvee underwater. So where it flips, you know, it flips underwater, and I'm talking about it's turning at revolution several times. And what the purpose of it is to disorient you and to see how fast you can get out of the seatbelt, how fast you can unlock the vehicle turned upside down. And this is whether you are doing this, you know what I'm saying, underwater, or whether you're actually on land. But you have to know how to protect yourself and how to brace for impact, whether you hit the water or whether you are actually, you know, on land. Now, to tell you how serious this training is, we had something like about maybe 8 to 10 people that in rollover training, they got injured, you know, and it flipped over, and some suffered broken backs, broken necks, broken legs, you know, and they had to get them out, you know what I'm saying, vehicle. So this stuff is no joke. And obviously, you know, underwater, if you don't get out that vehicle in time, you know, the body needs oxygen. So you have to be able to get out, you know what I'm saying? You know, anything from, if you can't naturally loose yourself from the seatbelt, cut it, you know, and then you gotta figure out, while you flip, everything's in reverse. You're upside down with full gear on, trying to open, you know what I'm saying, get that door open so that you can get out, you know what I'm saying, in time. But anyway, and then also another portion of the training that we went through, which I want to get to, was they had to, this is much worse than pepper spray, but we had to go through this training where they hit us with like a 18% mustard, something like a mustard gas. It's a mustard gas and something else. And it was 18%, you know what I'm saying, Marine Corps standards. And they sprayed us heavily heavily. I got hit twice. They hit me directly into my corneas. And by the time that instructor sprayed me, I had a mask on like Batman. You know what I'm saying? And it is painful, intense pain. I broke bones before, and I've never felt pain like that. And with that particular type of spray or gas that they use, the pain just keeps increasing. It does not stop until you get treated, and you have to treat it with certain types of treatment. You can use milk, you know, you can use milk solution, stuff like that, to treat it to bring it down. You know what I'm saying? And you can use water, but water needs another type of solution to go with it to really be effective. And not only that, you know what I'm saying, the instructor's gonna hold you there for a minute. Once he or she sprays you, they're gonna hold you and let the stuff sink in. And then you have to go through the processing line of showing defensive and maneuvering skills, you know, that you can function under this intense pain, you know what I'm saying, barely being able to see, but they make you open your eyes before you leave that station. That means that if you don't open your eyes are on fire. You know what I'm saying? They burning, they on fire. You know, so that's just a mustard gas at 18%, and it's more than pepper. I forgot the other chemical that was in it. So imagine that. If I felt that type of pain on my eyeballs, you know, and I could not get relief until I opened my eyes, there's no relief. Once I open my eyes, then I gotta go through the full training regimen, and I don't stop, you know what I'm saying, until I get to the end. Then I get treatment. This nerve agent is worse than that. That's just my eyeballs. Now imagine if that's your whole body, you know what I'm saying, your central nervous system going crazy like that. I'm just trying to give you guys something to think about. Okay? Now, let's see. Okay. All right. Now, 2-PAM Chloride has a time limit. 2-PAM Chloride is most effective when administered quickly. After a period of time, some nerve agents age and form a permanent bond with ACHE that 2-PAM Chloride can no longer break. That means eventually you're going to need a different antidote or treatment in order to relieve and reverse the symptoms. Okay? Now, what is the importance of having both, the atropine and 2-PAM chloride? Okay? Each individual drug by itself, it cannot treat all the poisoning effects on its own. So that's why you need both. Atropine it cannot repair damaged enzyme, so it does not resolve paralysis of voluntary muscles. 2-PAM chloride is less effective at reversing excessive excretions to your respiratory system, and also a slow heart rate that's caused by muscarinic receptor overstimulation. Basically, it makes atropine essential for relieving those symptoms. So basically, therefore, you have to have both medications, okay? Many first responders and military personnel, they carry auto-injectors that contain both drugs, allowing for rapid, life-saving administration in the event of exposure. Now, let's see here. Let me see, I had a little bit of notes, okay. Let's see, how to tell if you've been hit by a nerve agent. Okay, the symptoms: sweating, pinpointed pupils, drool, let's see, runny nose, confusion, seizures, muscle contraction, irregular heartbeat. Breathing becomes almost impossible. It's basically like an asthma attack on steroids. Loss of control of vital functions. Like I said before, urination, defecation, nausea, vomiting. Let me see, I'm trying to think. Certain type of gastrointestinal issues. Just uncontrollable, and these symptoms will not stop until you are treated. Now, in some cases, it depends on the individual. Some people can last up to minutes for hours before these symptoms may take effect. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's system is different. Some people, they may get hit with a nerve agent and they may roll around and be cool, but you can best believe the results and the symptoms are going to show eventually. Some people, it may take an hour. Some people, it takes 2 minutes. Some people, it may take 4 hours. But eventually, you're going to get the same result. You get the same result. And if it's left untreated, some people can be unalived as fast as 2 minutes or less. Some people, it may take hours. But if they do not get treated for this type of chemical or nerve agent attack, eventually they will be heading to see the Sandman and going 6 feet under. I'm not trying to be graphic, guys. I'm just being real. And you know how it is in war or a terrorist attack. The enemy doesn't play fair. You know what I'm saying? Now, how do you use these injectors? It is suggested, the way I was trained in the military, that when you take these injectors, you use both at the same time. So you're going to pull them out, and you take them, and because your thigh has a lot of meat, it's suggested that you use, the thigh, because it has a lot of meat in that area. Somewhere between like the thigh, the upper portion of the thigh, and maybe where the hip is, and boom, when you take off the, I forgot what you call it, off the needles, you take both of them, they are administered at the same time. You take them, bang. You put both needles into your thigh, and I believe you should wait something like injected and hold for something like I think it may be 30 seconds to a minute. So bang, hold, and if you can count 30 full seconds to a minute to make sure that the antidote gets into your system. But normally. In a lot of cases, if a person is under the effects of a nerve agent, they're going to need somebody else to inject the nerve agent into them, because they're going to be having all types, spazzing and having all types of effects. Now, in some cases, individual, depending on what symptoms they have, they may still have enough control to inject both the 2-PAM chloride and the atropine into their upper thigh. And may be able to hold it for 30 seconds or a minute. It depends how deep and what effect the nerve agent has taken. But guys, I'm going to stop this right here. I think I've gone long enough. But please, guys, watch this full video. Remember, I told you that YouTube, sometimes they give me a bit of a hard time about putting this content out. You know, I'm not trying to scare anybody or, any fear point. I'm just merely sharing some of my knowledge and experiences, from what I've learned and what I've been through when I was in the military, and I'm sharing it with you. So that way, you can have an idea, what to do in the event of something like this happening. Obviously, you want to know where your nearest medical facility is, and in the event that something like this is dropped on a civilian population, you need to know where your nearest medical facility, or get a hold of a first responder as quick, as possible, so you can get treatment. I'll have to check and see if you can purchase the antidote. If you can purchase the antidote, it is recommended to buy, as much of it as you can, and have it, stored in a dry, cool place. So that way, in any event, God forbid, if anything should ever happen like that, you'll be prepared, and you will know what to do, to immediately treat yourself, and then you can follow up with medical treatment afterwards, But at least this right here will stop it, and it will keep you going, and whatever your family members, friends, whatever like that, who may be around, in the event something like this happens. And guys, don't put nothing past these governments or any terrorists. I mean, you can look and see. You see Ukraine and Russia, and, you see with Israel, what they going through, then you see with Iran. So anything is possible, and we're in some funky times right now. So anything can happen. And when it comes to war, the enemy does not play fair. So you need to know, how to best prepare, and, how to, prepare and help yourself, in the event that you can't get a first responder or to a medical facility. But that's all I have on this one, guys. And the name of this YouTube channel is Eric Broadus YouTube. That's EricBroadus YouTube, or ericbroadusyoutube.com. And I also have Snakz 123 on Rumble. And so please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Smash that bell to become a subscriber. Please turn on all notifications and hit the like or unlike button to like the video or unlike it. Either way, leave a comment. Love to dialogue with you. Everyone is entitled to opinion, has a right to be heard, and you may have some knowledge that you can share. And the same thing for and also hit that hype button, hype the video. Also, for my Rumble channel, go over there and subscribe to me on Rumble. Hit the like, unlike button if you don't like the videos. Either way, leave a comment. Love to dialogue with you. Everyone has a right to be heard, and maybe you have other information that you want to share, in the comment section. And I also have a podcast, Snakz Thoughts, SNAKZTHOUGHT, Snakz Thoughts. You can find it on Spotify, Spreaker, Radio PBM, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, iTunes, Radio PBM, and a host of other social media outlets. And lastly, I have weight loss and nutrition products. The 5 best weight loss products. Link will be in the description. Click on the link, purchase the products if you desire to take care of your health, lose weight, even lose belly fat, and also in other areas. Click on it, purchase the products, and share the link with others so they can take care of their health also. Next to God, the next best thing that you have is your health. You get one body, you get one life. So take care of it, guys, all right? But that's all I have on this one. And the title of this video was NBC Warfarfare Explained. How to PAM Chloride and Atropine Injectors save lives. Peace out, guys. Catch you on the next one later.